Hey, welcome back to the channel. My name is Siim, and in this video I'm gonna give you the daily things that you should do in order to lose weight. Obviously, the most important thing is to be in a calorie deficit, etc. I'm not gonna talk about that, but these activities that I'll share with you are the ones that will help you to basically achieve that and maintain it.
Make sure you click like and subscribe as well for future videos about optimizing your health and performance.
Alright, so number one is going to be walk a lot. I think walking is one of the most underrated forms of exercise, and it's also going to make it a lot easier for you to lose weight and keep the weight off. And obviously the reasons for that is because walking is such a low intensity physical activity that it just makes you burn more calories during the daytime and contributes to your overall daily energy expenditure. When it comes to walking, then it is also some association between longevity and walking. So walking a bit longer has been found to also be reduced or associated with reduction in mortality. So in this 2020 study, they actually saw how much steps was optimal for reduction in mortality, and they found that the lowest risk of mortality or rate of mortality was among people who walked at least 12,000 steps up to 14,000 to 16,000. So the benefits kind of plateaued after that. So the maximum, let's say, walking per day for longevity would be like 12,000 steps. Anything like 10,000 is still good, but apparently like 12,000 is still superior to 10,000 and 8,000, etc. But you don't see any additional benefits if you walk like 20,000 steps or 18,000 steps. So I would recommend, like at least 12,000 steps per day is a good amount to aim for, and it does make you burn quite a lot of calories as well. Like you would at least burn maybe like 300 or more calories per day if you walked 12,000 steps per day. Number two is going to be lift weights. So this may also seem like kind of obvious, but I just want to mention this because there's multiple reasons why lifting weights is going to be beneficial for weight loss and fat loss especially, and it's more than just burning calories, etc. So weightlifting does increase your lean muscle mass, which will then increase your basal metabolic rate and makes you burn more calories at rest without doing anything. But it also makes you more insulin sensitive, which improves nutrient partitioning, and it means that the food that you eat would be more directed towards muscle growth and muscle maintenance as opposed to fat gain. So if you're not lifting weights and you're, let's say, in a calorie surplus, then most of the excess calories will be just converted to fat. Whereas even if you did be in a calorie surplus, but you're lifting weights at the same time, then a lot of those calories in that surplus would be used to build new lean tissue. So there's a difference, what kind of weight you can gain, and the difference between what kind of weight you can lose. If you're in a calorie deficit and you're lifting weights, then that will be a huge signal for your body to maintain the muscle tissue, and also just improves your overall body composition as the final product. Number three is going to be sleep enough. So this another a lot of people may think that it's self-explanatory, but a lot of people still aren't getting enough sleep when it comes to, let's say, maintaining good levels of fat loss and maintaining good body composition. So they may tend to sleep not enough, or the quality of the sleep is also reduced. So for example, not sleeping enough has a pretty detrimental role in not losing weight or hitting a plateau, etc. So this particular study found that sleeping 5.5 hours made you burn a lot more muscle tissue instead of fat mass, whereas sleeping 8.5 hours per night, that resulted in the vast majority of the fat loss occurring from fat, actually, not the muscle tissue. So if you're restricting your sleep, then again, it changes the nutrient partitioning, or it changes your body towards wanting to burn more muscle instead of fat. So this is definitely not what you want, and it will be also it increases your cravings, it increases cortisol levels, which can keep you stuck at a plateau. Sleep restriction is definitely not something that you want to do if you're trying to lose weight. Actually, you need to sleep, and especially if you're exercising.
Now you will go to sleep, or I will put you to sleep.
Number four is caffeine. So caffeine is also quite beneficial for fat loss. It does increase your metabolic rate, increases your non-exercise activity thermogenesis, so it makes you burn more calories, you're fidgeting around and those kind of things. So there are multiple reasons why caffeine does benefit fat loss and weight loss, and increases fat oxidation, It helps with glucose regulation. So yeah, it's very, let's say, coffee is a very healthy drink for just overall reducing disease risk, as well as just, you know, improving your fat loss as well. So this 2004 study found that the metabolic effects of caffeine and caffeine ingestion increased energy expenditure by 13% and doubled the turnover of lipids, of which 24% were oxidized and 76% were recycled. So yeah, caffeine is essentially making you burn more fat and increases your metabolic rate and energy expenditure, which is, you know, great. A lot of people may just don't have enough energy if they are dieting, and caffeine is a good, let's say, quick fix for that. Obviously, your body will also eventually get used to it, so the metabolic effects are going to become more diminished over time. If you're continuously always consuming caffeine in large quantities, then it's not going to increase your metabolic rate that much because your body is so used to it. But yeah, like, you know, moderate consumption and let's say cycling on and off caffeine is definitely pro weight loss and pro energy expenditure.
This is liquid crack.
And lastly, number 5 is going to be eat protein. I think protein is the most important macronutrient for losing weight because it has also the highest thermic effect of food. So you digest the most calories for metabolizing protein. And a high protein diet in studies is generally always does better than the like equal calorie studies. And yeah, the more protein in your diet, then generally you will just burn more calories for digesting that protein. Obviously, you can't be in a calorie surplus and still lose weight even if you're eating too much protein, but it's just that it's much harder to gain weight by eating protein. Even if you're in a calorie surplus, it's harder to gain weight with excess protein or the excess calories coming from protein. Whereas if the excess calories come from fat or carbs, then it's much easier to store them as fat as well, whereas it's much harder with the protein. Protein also increases protein synthesis that helps you to build lean muscle tissue, which then has, like, you know, a compounding effect on your basal metabolic rate as well. So there are multiple studies as well that find high protein diets are safe for weight loss, and they definitely help with weight loss and adherence to dieting, etc. Collectively, these data suggest that high protein diets that contain between 1.2 and 1.6 grams per kilogram and potentially include meal-specific protein quantities of at least 25 to 30 grams of protein per meal provide improvements in appetite, body weight management, cardiometabolic risk factors, or all of these health outcomes. So yeah, getting at least 30 grams of protein per meal is good, and on a daily basis, 1.2 to 1.6 grams has been found to be safe and effective and perfectly healthy in terms of improving your metabolic health parameters as well. Alright, that's it for this video. If you want to check out my new book, The Obesity Fix with Dr. James DiNicolantonio, then you can head over to Amazon and you can get it from there. But other than that, thanks for watching this video. Make sure you click the like, subscribe, notification bell as well. My name is Siim. Stay optimized, stay empowered.